What's going on, Jeromes? So the Minnesota Vikings have a handful of in-house free agents that could leave, could be back. Who really knows? But there always is going to have to be replacements, whether in free agency, whether in the draft. And Kwesi, maybe not so much draft, but free agency has proven very adept. And we're going to talk about 4 Vikings free agents and potential open market free agency replacement, potential draft, and talk about pluses and minuses of each. Now, I know that guys like Sam Darnold, guys like Cam Robinson, I mean, you're not going to replace him, right? So Darnold is like, what are we going to do? Sign Justin Fields, trade up and draft Shedeur Sanders or draft Jackson Dart? Nah. Ain't gonna happen. But here are 4 Vikings in-house free agents and potential market and draft replacements. So first off is Aaron Jones. Came across to the right side of the river. Absolutely love what he did. Career high in touches, rushes, rushing yards, all that stuff. But is getting a little bit older. But it's clear that he and the Vikings want to work something out. But if the Vikings and Jones go a different direction, a couple options. So first off, Javonte Williams. Now, I've always loved Javonte Williams, coming out of North Carolina, come on, raise up. And early returns from his Denver career were nice, except then 2022, tore his ACL, LCL, it was a mess. And he hasn't quite been the same since. I think this year, obviously, he had a little bit more spring in his step than 2023, but solid runner, runs with power, can do outside zone, man gap, all that stuff. Plus, great receiver out of the backfield, 52 catches, 346 on 70 targets last season. So he can be that 3-down back. Now, do you want him to be a workhorse running back? I don't know. I don't know, but he is a type of player that Kwesi loves, getting huge value for a medical dude, getting huge value for a free agent who hasn't quite lived up to his potential as a second-round pick. So I do think that Javonte Williams could make some sense here for not a lot. He's not going to get a ton in free agency because I think a lot of teams are saving saving roster spots for this great running back draft class. And speaking of the draft class, so Trevion Henderson. So I got a crush on a couple running backs. So Hampton, Henderson, Caleb Johnson, all could be in play at 24. And of course, the rest of the way, like Devin Neal, Scattaboo, Ollie Gordon, all this stuff, right? So RJ Harvey. God, there's so many good running backs in this class. But Henderson would be your set it and forget it dude. Right? And if the Vikings took him at 24 or in a trade down, getting him at the back end of the first round or top of the second round, more than happy. But Henderson, splitting time with Judkins for the Ohio State University, national champions. 7.1 yards per carry, ran for 1,000 yards in 2023. Great receiver, and also potentially the best pass blocking running back in this class. And he would be your true blue 3-down guy. Plus, has that explosiveness, foot in the ground, and he's gone. Right, so he does have that home run capability as well. Plus, I still can't unsee Dalvin in his game. There's a lot of Jamal Charles, a lot of Jamal Charles comps out there as well. Could see it, certainly. Next, so Dalton Risner, been a starting guard for the Vikings for the bulk of the last 2 years. Is a free agent again. Do they bring him back for a third run? Don't know. Now, Risner, solid as a pass protector. Needs to improve as a run blocker, but so does the entire offensive line writ large. But if Risner's not back, a free agent and draft option for the Vikings is free agency. So Will Fries, former 7th-round pick out of Penn State, the pride of the Colts, was off to a great season last year. 6 pressures, 2 sacks allowed in 5 games, 86.9 PFF grade. Great in the run game as well, opening things up on the ground for the Colts, but did break his tibia. So that certainly impacted things. Spot Rack estimates his value at $14.1 million. I don't know if he's going to get that much because his tape was kind of rough in 2023, first year as a full-time starter. But I do think that Fries has the size, supersized, as well as the ability as a run and pass blocker to garner some attention in free agency. Maybe not $14.1 million, but yeah. Also in the draft, so Tate Ratledge. Ratledge probably going to be in that day 2 area. I don't know if he makes it to the Vikings third-round comp pick at 97, but Ratledge, 3-year starter at right guard for Georgia, 6'6", 320, and he is a tone setter, and he's fantastic as a pass protector, 98.6% pass blocking efficiency in 2024. Also, he gets after things in the blocking game. Perfectly fine for zone. Also, definitely fantastic in man blocking, down blocking, etc. And Ratledge is a guy that you could pick up in the third round, and you could start him right away. Just a set it and forget it guy. At the corner, so you got Cam Bynum as safety. Well, which we'll get to Beasley in a second. But Byron Murphy Jr., so pushing back the void date of his contract, clear that he and the Vikings potentially could work something out. And I love Murph, would like to keep him. But if Murph gets ridiculous money, then the Vikings may move on and enter a guy like DJ Reed. So Reed is only 28, highly regarded cover man, last 3 years for the Jets, working with Sauce Gardner, 23 passes broken up, 2 picks over the last 3 seasons, and he's just a dog. Like I feel like personality-wise, like it would be a decent replacement because Murph is a dog, DJ Reed is an absolute dog. Spot Rack estimates his cash at $14.7 million, which would be less than what a lot of places have projected Byron Murphy to make, whether 17 or 22. Yeah. But yeah, Reed, I like DJ Reed a lot. And if we can't keep Murph, would have no problem getting DJ Reed. And then draft, hell, get them both. If Murph walks, sign DJ Reed and draft Kobe Bryant. So Kobe coming out of Kansas, 4-year starter for the Jayhawks. He's 6'1", $175, could stand to put on some weight, but athlete, dogged, got great ball skills, more of a zone corner, but also huge in run support and just he's just feisty. Just has a tenaciousness, which I certainly do love. 62.7 quarterback rating when thrown at, which is good. 4 passes broken up, 4 interceptions. Probably is going to be in that third round range as well. Going to be in that day 2 mix in terms of there's a nice little band of like decent mid-round corners that could be there for the Vikings in this draft. Lastly, Cam Beasley Bynum. So I love Beasley, the turnover celly coordinator and all that stuff, the pride of the Philippines. But I don't know, like, is he going to get paid? How much? Would he be back? Who knows? But a free agency and draft replacement. So Javon Holland, of course, everyone knows Holland, former second-round pick out of Oregon, Flores guy, picked by him. A good relationship with Flo still, and has that versatility. Can be box, single high, split safety, all that stuff. Good ball production, great filling against the run. Solid open field tackler. His market estimate is at $15.1 million. Is that going to be more or less what Beasley gets? It's going to be close. And then the draft, you got Nick Emenwari from South Carolina, who's low-key one of my draft crushes, just the way that he plays, physical, downhill, like his hair is on fire, got good size as well. Positional versatility is obviously huge for the Flores scheme. 86.8 PFF coverage grade, 4 interceptions, 3 passes broken up for Beamer and the Gamecocks this last season. And Emenwari, if the Vikings check a lot of other boxes and Emenwari is the pick at 24 or in a trade down in the bottom of the first or top of the second, no issue. Absolutely no issue at all. And I think that Emenwari would really help transform the back end of this defense. Holland would too. But overall, we love our guys, but there are going to be other guys in free agency and or the draft that can certainly get things done. So I do trust what Kwesi's going to do, and we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But your thoughts are thoughts. Looking at open market and draft replacements for the Vikings in-house free agents. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.